Central Sulawesi, the largest area among all provinces on Sulawesi Island, and has the second largest population on Sulawesi Island after the province of South Sulawesi. It is bordered by the provinces of Gorontalo to the north, West Sulawesi, South Sulawesi and Southeast Sulawesi to the south, by Maluku to the east, and by the Makassar Strait to the west. The province is inhabited by many ethnic groups, such as the Keli, Tolitli, etc. The official language of the province is Indonesian, which is used for official purposes and inter-ethnic communication, while there are several indigenous languages spoken by the indigenous peoples of Central Sulawesi. Islam is the dominant religion in the province, followed by Christianity, which are mostly adhered by the people in the eastern part of the province. In the 13th century, several kingdoms had been established in Central Sulawesi, such as the Kingdom of Banawa, the Kingdom of Taweli, the Kingdom of Sigi, the Kingdom of Banga, and the Kingdom of Bangai. The influence of Islam on the kingdoms in Central Sulawesi began to be felt in the 16th century. The spread of Islam in Central Sulawesi was a result of the expansion of kingdoms in South Sulawesi. The influence that first came was from the Kingdom of Bone and the Kingdom of Wajo. Dutch traders began arriving in the beginning of the 17th century. The Dutch built several fortifications in present-day Parigi to combat piracy in the region after annexing the region as part of the Dutch East Indies. The province remained part of the Indies for the next 3 centuries until the Dutch were ousted by the Japanese during World War II. After the Japanese surrendered, the area was incorporated into the new Republic of Indonesia. Initially, the area was part of North Sulawesi before being formed as a separate province on 13 April 1964. According to UNICEF, Central Sulawesi is a province with a significant number of young people. As many as 1 million people, or 35% of the total population in this province, are children. More than 3 out of 4 children live in rural areas. More than 185,000 children live below the provincial poverty line in 2015. However, more households are in a vulnerable position and live with income that is slightly above the poverty line. In addition, 3/4 of children experience deprivation in 2 dimensions, non-income poverty or more, with that inequality striking between urban and rural areas. There are over 400 granite megaliths in the area of the Law Lindu National Park, of which around 30 represent human forms. They vary in size from a few centimeters to approximately 4.5 meters. Various archaeological studies have dated the carvings from between 3000 BC to 1300 AD. Central Sulawesi province has many caves, 7 of which have ancient pictures and, based on 2011 research by a joint Indonesian and Australian team, the pictures are known to have been drawn at least 40,000 years ago. Some of the oldest bronze objects are discovered in Central Sulawesi. The Makassar axe is a 1st century AD bronze axis, probably used as a valuable object in a ceremony. The Kulawi tribe of Central Sulawesi still practice the exchange of heirloom bronze object, e.g. the Tiganj, whose basic form has been discovered throughout the eastern part of Indonesia. Islam reached the region in the 17th century, shortly after the Islamic avowal of Goa, the powerful kingdom at the south part of the Sulawesi Island. Areas along the western coast of Central Sulawesi, from Keli to Tolitli, were conquered by the Sultanate of Goa around the middle of the 16th century under the leadership of King Tanipalinga. The area around the Gulf of Palu is an important center and trade route, coconut oil producer, and entrance to the interior of central Sulawesi. On the other hand, the Gulf of Tomini area is largely under the control of the Kingdom of Parigi. With the widespread influence of South Sulawesi, Islam spread to the region. Islam first spread to the coastal area of central Sulawesi. In the middle of the 16th century, two kingdoms, namely Bul and Luwak, accepted Islamic teachings. Since 1540, Bul has been in the form of a sultanate and led by a sultan named Itu Muhammad Tahir. In the beginning of the 17th century, the Dutch started arriving in central Sulawesi. Under the pretext of securing his fleet from pirate attacks, the Dutch East India Company built fortresses in Parigi and Lambunu. Soon afterwards, the region began to fall into the Dutch sphere of influence. In the 18th century, the Dutch forced the kings of central Sulawesi to come to Manado and Gorontalo to take an oath of loyalty to the VOC. This would mark the beginning of the Dutch colonial rule in the region for the next 3 centuries. Initially, the colonial government paid little attention to the region. In 1824, representatives of the Kingdom of Banawa and the Kingdom of Palu signed the court were clearing with the colonial government. DUTC